Hi! So as you can see by the title, I'm going to talk about bipolar disorder today. If you don't know what bipolar disorder is, or you're unfamiliar with the details of it, don't worry. You'll probably know it from such phrases as,
"Wow, I am so bipolar. My mom is so bipolar. Did somebody forget to take their bipolar meds today?"
Yes, those were said by actual people, like in real life. The stigma against bipolar disorder is insanely harmful. Recently there's been more acceptance for mental health, which is wonderful, but I feel like bipolar disorder has kind of been left in the dust, along with many others. It may be because it's harder to understand. By definition, bipolar disorder is a mental disorder marked by alternating periods of elation and depression. Seems relatively simple, right? Just a few random mood swings, right? Not only do the symptoms include the lows and highs, also known as depressive episodes and manic episodes, but there's also irritability, apathy, impulsiveness, trouble sleeping, trouble concentrating, unwanted thoughts, delusions, and many more. Now, I know hearing or reading those things may not seem like that bad, but when you have bipolar disorder, such as myself, you realize just how exhausting it is. There are 4 types of bipolar disorder. Type 1, defined by manic episodes that last at least 7 days, or by manic symptoms that are so severe the person needs immediate hospital care. Usually depressive episodes occur as well, typically lasting at least 2 weeks. Type 2, defined by a pattern of depressive and hypomanic episodes, but not full-blown manic episodes described above. Cyclothymic disorder, defined by numerous periods of hypomanic symptoms as well as numerous periods of depressive symptoms lasting for at least 2 years, 1 year in children and adolescents. Other, defined by bipolar disorder symptoms that do not match the 3 categories listed above. I personally have type 2 with psychotic features. The psychotic part just means I have hallucinations and on rare occasions delusions. Having been bipolar for a while, I sort of figured my emotional cycle out. About a week or 2 on manic and then about 3 to 4 days on depressive, with a few numb days scattered throughout. Many people don't understand how exhausting it can be. I can go from having an extreme high in the beginning of the day to, by the end of the day, having a breakdown and crying for 3 hours. It takes a lot out of you sometimes. The switches can be so instant too, depending on external variables. Usually though, I can sense when a depressive episode is coming. I have a few days with this aftertaste of sadness, the vaguest aching in my chest. I also tend to get very irritable during those days. As I mentioned before, I have numb days, which goes along with the symptom of apathy, lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. I just refer to it as numbness. During those days, I feel nothing. No good, no bad. Those days can be extremely harmful if I lash out at anyone around me, or say something I don't mean. It's almost like I'm witnessing myself live outside of my body. As I'm more comfortable with myself and what I've gone through, I try to let people know when it's happening. Like, hey, if I'm a little standoffish today, it's not you, I'm just having an episode, don't worry about it. 2 or 3 years ago, I would have never done that. I was ashamed that I was depressed. I thought asking for help would make things more complicated. That couldn't have been farther from the truth. Now, I know the same thing won't work for everyone. I personally have found that a therapist works really well for me, but I know other people that take medication and that works great for them. So find what helps you and do it. There's no shame in asking for help. I've written many a poem about my bipolar disorder. There's a few I'd like to share with you. I let the loneliness cover me like a snowstorm. It enshrouds me and I feel frostbite. Numb. Suddenly I'm blistering with pain, as everything around me and within me burns to the ground, and I'm swallowed in flames of regret. I'm unsure which extreme I prefer. There are days when I'm so shrouded by darkness I can barely see 2 feet in front of me, and some days I'm so blinded by the light of possibility that I'm paralyzed. No matter which extreme, I stand here still, unsure of the next move, until I creep into the depths of numbness where I feel most comfortable, able to be. The point of this video was to try and inform people. I know bipolar is really misunderstood. I'm no therapist or psychologist, but I do know what I've personally gone through and what professionals have told me, along with all the research I did for the video. I think people find certain mental illnesses scary just because they don't understand them. As someone who has it, it's hard to understand. especially since it's all inside your head. No one will ever get a genuine 100% full idea of what I'm going through. And the symptoms vary person to person. Mental illness is something that's still so stigmatized, but I'm done being ashamed. I'm going to talk about it whether people like it or not.
Holla!
I'll try my best to make sure I'm informed when I make these videos. I decided to talk about bipolar first since that's something that's so close to home. I'm willing to talk about any others if you guys have suggestions or... Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment below about any of your experiences or a suggestion on future videos or anything like that. And